Hello, my friends. This is the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twin Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. And that's not just blowing smoke. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Cool breeze in my head, bittersweet smoke flying through the air. It's the way I feel, smoking on a fat cigar.
All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Not Just Blowing Smoke, coming at you live from Twin Smoke Shop studio headquarters in Londonderry, New Hampshire, right from the 724 Lounge. Be sure you subscribe to us here on Facebook or YouTube if you're watching the stream live. If you're listening after the fact on Podbean, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, wherever you found the podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't ever miss a thing. I'm Pastor Padron, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Pat and Dave. And tonight we are looking back over this year and talking about what we think were the best cigars that came out in 2022. And the whole goal of this conversation is to somehow narrow it down to what cigars we're going to consider for Cigar of the Year. And while we do that, we're going to be smoking the 724 Club Humidor Cigars, Cars, and Cycles cigar that Kurt Kendall made for Club Humidor. It's a shop down in Texas that he has a great relationship with. And this cigar could only be had at their shop and here. And as we looked back today over all the cigars that we had smoked on our show, which is about 50, this was one of the cigars that we thought was a big standout. It was, to our minds, one of the best cigars that we smoked on the show this year. So we wanted to smoke it again while we talked about new cigars of the year. It's available downstairs in the humidor. There's about 20 boxes of it downstairs. They're 10-count boxes, though, so it's not going to last long. But if you have not tried one of these, I think the three of us agree, right? This is Kurt's best release to date.
Yep, I agree.
And in our opinion, we all are in agreement on that. And I know we're here at Twins. I know we're sponsored by Twins, but this was not being told what to do. This was something that we decided just by talking to each other. This was, in our mind, one of the best cigars that we'd smoked on the show. You know, so that'll be and it's going to be pleasant too to talk about best cigars of the year because this cigar has aged for several months now too. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a different. Yeah, it's going to be a different experience than when we first smoked it, when it was fresh off the bus, so to speak. It is Kurt's first all Honduran cigar, Honduran wrapper binder filler. It's a box press Toro, 6.5 inches by 54 ring gauge. What are you guys getting off this as we're starting out? I get a lot of wood. I get cedar note and the spice. There's that Honduran sweetness that comes through in the tobacco as well, but it's kind of wood forward for me.
Yeah, very wood, cedar forward. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bacon spice to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very woody. Good solid sweetness.
Yeah, it has like a really creamy cedar like primary note, and then I get like a really like kind of floral type sweetness on it. There is like a white spice,
Mm-hmm.
and then the finish has like a really kind of, refined leather, and then that, creamy cedar kind of lingers as well. So it's really like a cedar forward cigar.
What's the difference between like refined leather and like unrefined leather as far as tasting notes go?
You ever like smelt like a leather jacket versus like a,
I love the smell of my leather jacket. but I can't ever say I've smelled my leather jacket.
Well, it's
You know what
like-
I'm saying?
You
know
have
what I'm saying?
you have like finished leather and then
Yeah.
unfinished leather, and finished leather has more of a potent smell than unfinished leather.
Okay, so it's more of a potent leather.
Yeah.
It's an honest question, Pat. Just trying to figure out the palate.
It's just a hierarchy of leather, you know.
A hierarchical leather.
Excellent.
Yes, I do miss Paul. Oh, my goodness. So the drink we're having with this, I've already forgotten the name of the cocktail.
Oh, Oaxaca old fashioned.
A Oaxaca Old Fashioned, which is a tequila-based old fashioned, right?
Yeah.
With mezcal and
It's like 1 ounce mezcal and then 1 ounce of like a, like a reposado.
Yeah.
Be really whatever you want, but I think this uses a Herrador reposado, double reposado.
yep.
And then everything else is like an old fashioned. Bitters. Instead of using simple syrup, you use the agave.
Agave, yeah. Let's try a little of this.
It's gonna be a little bit of. It's gonna taste kind of like an old fashioned, but it's a lot more smoky because of that mezcal.
Yeah. I had a little taste of that mezcal straight. And it really was very smoky. Very, very nice. I think this is going to be a good pairing with the cigar. I'm hoping that the tequila brings out some of the sweetness in the tobacco and kind of complements the spices. But we shall see. A little bit about what's happening at Twins. Of course, Christmas is over. Did you guys have a good Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Things go all right for you, sort of. Yeah, our Christmas has kind of got a little bit kiboshed with COVID again. Not that I had COVID but Dave just got over it again. And yes, yeah, and then my mom, she didn't have it, but there were a number of people on her floor that did. So we decided to kind of play it safe and do Christmas another time. And but it was good. When everything's said and done, talk to Mom. Did you talk to Mom on Christmas?
Oh, I talk to Mom every single day, at least 2 or 3 times, yes. Mm-hmm. Help her watch again.
I think she's gone to bed by now. She's going to bed earlier these days. Yeah, you never know. Yep. Then, of course, that means, well, for me, this Thursday, it's another big day. This Thursday is my anniversary with Mandy. It was a financial decision. No, it was a very smart financial. We were both in college at the time, and we basically tripled our financial aid the next year by becoming independent in the eyes of the college, by being married.
Well, yes, but now you have Christmas.
Yes, now it's a very expensive time of year for me. So this Thursday is 32 years for me being married to Mandy, and very, very happy about that. And love you, Mandy. And but we have Christmas, then the anniversary on the 29th. January 3rd is her birthday, so it's a very, very expensive time with the cost of heat going through the roof. Christmas for 3 girls and the wife for the anniversary and the birthday. It's nuts. But this Saturday, New Year's Eve, we're going to be doing a special launch party here. We just got in that cigar we were supposed to do last week, the Twins 25th anniversary cigar by Kristoff. That's come into the store. We're going to do a special launch with it on Saturday here at Twins in cahoots with a New Year's Eve celebration. So you're going to want to make sure you're here for that.
All right. They say I'm muted. Hopefully I'm not muted now.
Well,
I think I found it.
you still sound kind of snotty, so
I still sound kind of naughty.
yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea that you mute yourself, Dave.
No.
All right. So that's a little bit about what's going on at Twins right now. But let's start talking about the best cigars of the year. We've kind of talked about the Club Humidor here being one of our favorite cigars that we reviewed this year. We haven't been able to review every new cigar that came out on the show. And, as we thought about what we wanted to do, we thought we would expand things a little bit and talk about different categories of things too. So we want to talk about best line extensions for the year. We want to talk about what was the best limited edition cigar of the year. So that can be any cigar that's not available all the time or was a one-off thing. The best value cigar that came out this year. And then the best new blend, which would essentially be our pick for overall, cigar of the year for us. And I hope you guys have notes and choices already written down, But no.
I don't. I had a crazy day at Horkset. We had like a huge amount of people in for a Tuesday, and 3 of them were new pipe smokers. I was very busy showing people how to pipe. It's not a short event.
Okay. So
Under the register. They're under the register. Yeah, ask Rick. Yeah, just the guy with no hair.
The guy with no hair.
I hope he heard that. I hope he's watching.
Who's that?
Ricky.
Ricky? The guy with no hair. Yeah, he is bald, isn't he?
oh my goodness. So let's talk line extensions first.
Line extensions.
And so in my mind, what this is
The extension of the line.
you didn't do your homework, Dave. You're already on the bad list. You're on an international podcast and you have no idea what you're talking about.
What?
Exactly. All right. So here
That's what she said.
let's talk about this. Best line extension for me, I have several on here that we can talk about and then we can debate and see if we come up with a something we all agree with. So first off on the list, right at the top, although this list is not in any kind of order, the Montecristo 1935 Espaso.
Espaso, which means fat or thick,
Chunky.
chunky. Espaso. So cool. Lighted by AJ Fernandez. Yes, absolutely amazing. It was
Okay.
the best extension.
That was, that whole line, the 1935 anniversary, that came out last year, of course. They released the new one this year. I think the 3 of us agreed that the Espaso was the best expression of that line so far. One of these weird kind of anomalies that the larger ring gauge.
That happened
actually
a couple
does better
times this
job.
year, didn't it? Yeah.
Okay. So another one on my list was the Gueguense Mocha Raton.
Yep, new for the Gueguense.
The Sin Compromiso Paladin de Saka. The CLE CBT Lancero. And the H. Upmann by AJ Fernandez Corona. Those would be my picks for a best new line extension.
I've only had like
Thoughts?
half of those. Unfortunately.
What about you, Dave?
I
What
said
are your
I've
favorite?
I've only had
line
half of them, so
Yeah, but what are your favorite line extensions? You're a freaking tobacconist. Come
my
on.
favorite line extensions so far, because of what I've smoked, would
That
be
were released this year.
the Paladin or the Espaso. The Espaso, I think, wins out for me overall. Slightly. So second would be the Paladin.
Pat?
I'd say CVT Lancero or the Paladin is probably on my list, but I guess contenders, I'd echo the ones that you mentioned. I actually think that was all of them. I don't think there's any other line extensions I can think of. Because the Carnitas is considered a new line, right? We're not factoring that in with.
It's a new blend.
It's a new
So
blend,
I wouldn't call it a line extension.
Is it a new blend or just a wrapper?
To me, if you've
That's a good-
changed, if you've changed the
It's just a
wrapper,
wrapper, so.
if you've changed the wrapper, you've essentially changed the. It's a whole new thing. In my mind, anyway.
Well, the Paladin has a different leaf in it for filler.
It's just kind of tweak. You could say the same with the Mocha Raton, but it's essentially the same blend with a little bit more Lajero.
Well, the line existed.
The line existed before.
Yeah. Like the Gueguense is a new blend, but it's it's part of the Gueguense.
Yeah, I need to smoke the CBT again now that we've got them back in, because I remember when I smoked it the first time, I was like, nothing's gonna beat this cigar, so I have to look at it again. It's been a while. I think it was like 5 months ago. It was a while ago.
It was. It came right out after
The
PCA,
perks of being in Londonderry.
and then we ran out of them, reordered them, and they just showed up.
4 months later.
Yep. Where would you say that H. Upmann Corona is a contender in there at all?
No.
No.
It wasn't. It's not that it was bad or anything like that. I just think like it's kind of a tough race, you know. There was a lot of really good cigars that came out, and based on objectively in the humidor, I haven't really seen a lot of H. Upmann Coronas selling. Where, like when the CBT Lanceros are here, we only got 2 boxes, and those boxes lasted maybe like 2 weeks, maybe. And then we don't even have the Espasos in right now, and when we had it, it was selling pretty well. So, it's objectively in the humidor, it's the H. Upmann's not anywhere near the list, but smoking it, we didn't actually have it on the show, but Adam did give us one after, and it was really good, for sure. But it's just, I don't know, it's tough to compete against what came out this year, I think.
So if you were going to pick a best line extension, what would it be?
It's either going to be the CBT Lancero or the Paladin. I have to smoke them both again this week.
And with you, it's between what?
It's the Espaso or the Paladin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My only objection about the Paladin is that I felt like it ended up being an amazing cigar, but you had to go through 2/3 of it first for it to be an amazing cigar. And I feel like the Espaso was just excellent all the way through. I think the final third in the Paladin was like where it really shined. But I feel like, you had to get to that.
Okay. Yep. I don't remember, the final third being better than the first or the second.
I think
not,
that's
but
when
they
like
were
that
both-
really that hickory smoke, the hickory taste.
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
blossomed.
okay, yeah, I do remember
You know what I
that.
mean? And that's why I was like, wow, nothing tasted that good. And so that's why it's kind of like a hard choice, because I really, really loved it so much. But the only reason is it took like an hour for me to really love it, really a lot. But
Do you remember the same thing, that the hickory notes really kind of came out in the final third of
I
that
mean, I've
cigar?
smoked it, like probably 5 times this year, and it's, I don't know, I don't think like the back third of it gets, fuller bodied, but that doesn't, for me, take away from the first and second third. I think it's very complex. It has numerous different transitions, and, like Dave might like that fuller bodied experience towards the end of it, but I think the entire cigar through and through was really, really good.
All right, so it sounds like we need to kind of, between this week and next week, that Espaso, the Paladin, and the CLE CBT Lancero.
Which I still need to smoke, so. I don't
Yeah,
know
so
yet.
we need to get through those to think about what's going on over there. Best limited edition cigar. The 5 that I put down on the list for me would be, again, not really in any particular order. The Kristoff PCA Vengeance Box Press Perfecto,
Yeah.
which I thought was an improvement on the Vengeance Perfecto, which is one of my favorite cigars they make. The 724 Club Humidor, which we're smoking tonight.
Yep.
The RomaCraft Craft 2022, that Robusto, that was an awesome cigar.
That was definitely my favorite craft so far. Yeah.
The Tatuaje La Riqueza that was released in February, I think it was this year. I remember being totally wowed by that. And the Padron 1926 number 95 Maduro.
It's limited edition?
Yes. And it is not on their order sheet. If it's not on the order sheet, it's limited edition. I don't know how long it's going to be available. The TAA release, was a few years ago, the number 48. That became a regularly produced thing. The same with the 1964 Toro. That's a TAA cigar that became regular production. I believe this was a special that was only available to PCA attenders. So I have no idea whether or not it's going to be become a regular thing. But as of right now, it's not something you can just order.
Yeah.
At least it's not listed on their website as a cigar that you can ask for.
My
Speak.
my pick is this cigar, the Club Humidor. I think Kurt really knocked it out of the park. First time Honduras Puro, first time box press, and I've enjoyed smoking the cigar as many times as I've been able to, which is at least a half a dozen times or more. Fantastic.
Patrick.
I don't have a pick yet for that one because there's so many other releases, like the Byron 1850 or 1950?
The 1850.
1850. That's
Specifically, the number 3 would be my pick for that.
Yeah, that's limited. You have the Marifel, which I plan to smoke this week. That's limited as well. And I don't know if the whole podcast is going to smoke that thing, but I'm going to probably go to war with you guys after I smoke it about that one. But assuming it's as good as I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
That needs to be its own show, smoking those things.
That's the only way I'll be able to smoke it. I'm not dropping $83 on a cigar. I'm sorry.
86.
It's 86, Dave. So don't worry about it. You'll never spend $83.
No, it's kind of tough.
Or 86 for that matter.
It's like limited releases. I feel like there's a lot of them this year. Like, you have Tat made a bunch of limiteds, like La Riqueza, which I put that as one of the better ones for sure. The DD, is it the DD or the DB?
DB.
Which I had a bad experience with it, so that's nowhere near my list. But yeah, there was a lot of them, and I didn't.
Teslas.
Yeah, those were no, but I didn't know Padron 95 was limited though.
Yeah, the Texas were kind of meh.
Aren't we counting the soccer con as limited too? In theory,
it is limited. It says it's limited.
It says it's limited, but I'm also told it's regular production.
So it's limited in production quantity, but not a limited cigar.
Correct.
Yeah.
So these cigars that we've all talked about, once they're gone, they're gone. That the one question on this may be the Padron 95, especially since I think Cigar Journal named the 95 Natural their cigar of the year. So that may make it, become a regular thing.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I don't, it's not something that is listed on their website. It's something I can order whenever I want. So to me, it was a special PCA only release. And it may be available all the time to people who went to the PCA or go to the PCA, but to me, that's still a limited release.
Yeah, well, not everybody can get it. It's
Right.
limited. Yeah.
Right. So of those, what would be your, where would you go or would you add to that? Like you added the Byron 1850. Which
Yeah, I have to.
could.
I have to obviously add the Saka because that was just that was an amazing cigar.
Mm-hmm.
You putting the Mocha Raton and everything on there too? Is that?
It's regular production, so I wouldn't call it limited.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's, yeah, again, I don't know what I would pick. Like, the 1850 was really, really good.
The 1850 was amazing.
You know, but I did smoke the 95 Padron, and that was really good as well. And that's another one of those examples of a 60 gauge impressing me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to spend a paycheck this week, I guess. But it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to smoke. I'm gonna have to smoke the 1850 and the Padron to kind of tell. You know, but
Those would be your top two.
yeah, yeah.
Have you had the Padron, Dave?
I have not had.
Oh, what about
Padron.
the You didn't mention the Stillwell Holiday.
No, that's a limited production
Yeah,
too.
that's another. I thought that was pretty good for, being a pipe cigar. But yeah, I think it was the best Stillwell.
Mm.
Well, neck to neck with the Navy, but I think that was a really good cigar.
I'm all for the English with that one.
That's still the one Stillwell cigar I've not had.
Really?
Is the English?
You were such an English smoker at one point. I'm surprised you didn't try that one first. That was the first one.
Well, I
tried.
was an English smoker like 15, 20 years ago. I have not really been a big Latakia guy for some time. I just burned myself out. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I've just
having a dash of Latakia in the cigar.
I've had so much of it. It's like, okay, I'm done. You know, there's people who can smoke a good, strong English tobacco over and over and over again. And for me, it's like one bowl and my palate is just done. Whereas, and that's not what I want. I like smoking different things throughout the day and not being a one and done kind of a thing. All right. So you got your work cut out for you. You making a list of things you need to smoke, Dave,
Check.
for next week's show?
Yeah.
Best value cigars. To me, this was the harder category for me to come up for things with. So hopefully you guys might be able to add to that. I've got 4 offerings here. And 2 of them are from Drew Estate. The Nica Rustica Adobe
Absolutely amazing.
and the Blackened.
Is this under $10?
Under $10 is what I would call a value cigar.
The Blackened?
The Blackened.
Yeah, they're like $9 to $10.
Isn't that limited?
No.
That's a regular production cigar?
Yeah.
I thought that was a one-off.
No, it's regular.
Wow. Absolutely. That cigar was freaking amazing.
And then the Street Taco Carnitas.
Oh, that's going to be so hard.
And another one that I thought of that I decided to put on the list was the Aladino Queens, Connecticut.
That was also a fantastic cigar.
You know, and under $10.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I think the Queens Cameroon's better than the Connecticut.
You could put that down too.
Then you have the
Oh, yeah, that was new this year too, right? The Queen's
Yeah.
Cameroon?
Both of those were new.
Well, that was a line extension.
Yeah, but
The Queen's
value
today.
cigar can be whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Best cigar for $10 or less.
Yeah.
Then you have the paybacks from Room 101. I think the Nicaragua, the Blue Band one, that one was really good for $7.
Anything else you can think of? I had a hard time thinking of cigars that came out that were under $10.
$10, right?
It's limited, but you have the Rocky Patel TAA Decade Habano.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was 9, right?
Yep, that was $9.
That was a
another
great
good
cigar.
one.
It's a really good cigar, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know you'd had that at Hooksett. It's gone. I think right there gone here.
Yep.
And then you have Kurt's original core line. He had the latter half of those sizes come out this year, and they're all under $10 around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know with the reblend, that was amazing.
Yeah, very, very good. What are we thinking about the Club Humidor now that we've kind of gone through the first third of it with the
It's
cocktail?
so creamy, you know, and it's got like this sweet, woody cream to it with this, I don't know, some kind of a spice.
Some kind of a spice. Pat, has your refined leather gotten any more refined?
Maybe a little bit of salt.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those like really consistent cigars. Like the flavor profile, I don't think jumps too much, but it's like like what you get when you light it up's really all you really need. So it's good. It burns really well. As a really, I'd call perfect draw for me at least, and it's just
The construction's totally on point too.
yeah, it's just one of those cigars you just really can't complain about. There's nothing negative to say about it. That's why I think it stood out to me when we smoked it on the podcast last time because, granted, Kurt's stuff in general, you don't have much to complain about, right?
Right.
Like just the nature of how it's done, but with him, but this especially, I think just because it's a Honduran Puro, it's the first time it's two firsts for him. It exceeded expectations I had, just, smoking his line and, seeing kind of what the general portfolios are. So, yeah, it's really, really good. It's going well with the Oaxaca, too.
Does this match up to the last time you had it?
Yeah, I remember when I smoked it the first time, it was a little bit more spicy on the podcast. Again, it's been sitting for
Half a year.
yeah, like 6 months. So most people would like that more. And again, and this isn't my I think because I left class before we smoked it on the show. So I actually no, that was in the summer, wasn't it?
Yep.
I think that was my first cigar that day for some reason. So I think I had a better palate for it today. I'm like 5 cigars in. So. But it's really good.
All right. So now we're on to best new blend. Best new blend.
Best new blend.
These are blends that were not on the market before this year. Okay. And on my list, first at the top is the Saka, the Micarita Black. Awesome cigar. We haven't reviewed it on the show here. One of the reasons for that is it keeps selling out before we can
before we can review it.
It's also, was kind of a limited thing. It's going to be offered regularly, and there's going to be extensions on that starting next year. But as of right now, so that's one of my favorite new blends that came out this year. Second on my list would be the Olmec by Foundation. I don't care whether you're talking the Claro or the Maduro. They're both awesome. And I'd be happy with talking about either of them. Both of those are fantastic, fantastic blends. The Rocky Patel Edge 20th anniversary I thought was really, really good for a new blend this year. The Street Taco Carnitas and the Byron 1850 number 3. Those are my top 5. It is an audio podcast.
It is an audio podcast.
Just thinking, honestly, like, I think out of the 3 years of me working here, I would say that this has been the best of the 3 when it comes to new blends and, like, new cigars hitting the market. And, again, like, I need to smoke a lot this week. And, like, the brands I think of that weren't
Smoke
mentioned.
a lot every week.
And I'm not necessarily saying that these are winners or good or bad, but You know, like West Tampa, I was impressed with when it first came out. The Maduro, you know, the Ozzingers. I said
The
earlier.
Ozzingers, I totally forgot about those.
I said earlier in the year I said that was to me the best blended cigar. I think when we were doing the Q3 review, and I said that was the best blended cigar I've smoked this year. You know, so I need to smoke one of those again, the Robusto. I feel like there's other ones too that I'm forgetting. I know like Blackwork Studios had a few releases that we didn't mention either, and they were good. The Baron's blend and the Meteori.
You mean the Bishop's blend?
Bishop. I don't know why I say Baron's blend. Bishop's blend.
Barons, bishops, same thing. BBB.
Except it has a big bishop's cap on the cigar. The big frickin' bishop's hat.
And then for me, like too, like I don't know if you guys necessarily agree with this one, but
No.
to me the 20 Acre Farm was a awesome blend. Like Florida Sun-Grown Tobacco is amazing, you know. And I know Saka's coming out with a higher end option using Florida Sun-Grown, and I'm excited for that one. But yeah, I think Drew Estate did a really good job using that, you know. And
That was a great cigar.
And I will say, I'm going to actually strike what I said earlier for best line extension. And I don't know if you guys have had it yet, but right now that I think about it, my number one cigar is the Liga 10 Robusto. I completely forgot about that was considered a line extension. That one is hands down the best cigar I would argue best cigar I've had all year. Like, that thing is amazing. It is.
The Liga 10 Robusto.
Yes. It is insane in the membrane.
I've only seen a Toro.
No.
It's an event only, and it's not completely out yet, but we had the Drew Estate event, so we got them. Then I went to the Barn Smoker, and I got them. That is... It is the best Liga. It's and line extension wise, like it is so. It's full. It needs to be like a full bodied smoker, but that is an insane cigar. You know, damn. I don't know why I forgot about that. Damn, that is an amazing cigar. But new blend wise, I would just throw the Ossinger into the mix that you mentioned because I think that was really impressive.
I'll write that down right here. Okay. Dave, would you add anything to that?
No, I would not add.
Then of those, what would your picks be?
Well, 90% of the ones Pat mentioned, I hadn't even smoked yet.
What do you do over there, Dave? What do you do over at
I don't have
What do you
any of
do?
those cigars. I don't have the Oz. I don't have the. You know,
Why is
nobody's even seen a freaking Liga 10 Robusto except Pat. I'm not going to buy a Byron. That's like $35. Anything over 20, I'm just not doing. It's just not going to happen. It's not in Dave's purse.
Okay.
So.
All right. So
Just steal one.
Okay.
So that limits you to the Saka Khan, the Olmec, the Rocky Patel Edge, or the Street Taco.
Nope. So, I'm probably
Most of those you have had, Dave.
Yes, I've
So
had.
you can
I've
have
had
an
all
intelligent
those.
discussion on this question.
So I'm probably leaning towards
Sweating,
Saka
people.
Khan. Not sweat, stress. I'm probably leaning towards the Saka Khan.
Okay. On my list, the Saka Khan, the Olmec, and the Byron 1850 are like neck and neck for me. All three of those were amazing blends. And the only thing that stands in the way for the Byron for me is that it's so freaking rare, and it's expensive. You know, it's a $42, $45
See, that's
cigar.
that's almost like a deterrent for me, because if
Yeah,
you can only
says
make
the guy who
if you can-
owns 17 million Dixons,
if you can
all of
make
which
an
cost
extravagant
more than a Byron thing.
if you can make an extravagant cigar and make it cost $80, well, hey, good for you, okay? But I'm sorry, the Street Taco, the regular street taco that costs like $8, and it is freaking amazing. I want to smoke that thing all the time, and it's not just the price. If that thing costs $30, I would actually buy it. Okay, that thing is just absolutely amazing. I'm
You better
sorry.
hope Alfonso's not listening to this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The street taco versus Byron next week on Cigar
Seriously, we're
Death.
doing a blind taste test. Come on, dude. It's freaking beautiful. I'm sorry.
Oh, I need like one of
You
those
know,
Spencer
Well,
and,
ones.
you know what?
in like the Saka Khan, it is an absolutely great cigar. But the deterrent for me for that is it takes freaking 2.5 hours to fucking get through the thing. You know, it's just, come on.
So,
You know,
the cigar of the year for you needs to be about 40 minutes and under 10
no, you know, an hour and a half, and you know, let's keep it around 25 or
Something
under.
that
You
can
know,
go
something
with
like-
my cookies.
Why don't you
Nom, nom.
just cut the soccer con in half, Dave?
good, yeah, like a digger.
And now it's
So it could be Doug.
it's
Big
two
Doug.
$7 cigars now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, see?
You can get 2 soccer
No.
cons for the
Sorry.
same price as 2 street tacos.
You think about something like, like the Blackened or like the Adobe, which are like, half to a quarter to a fifth of the price of some of these. Mm-hmm. And those things are just so delightful and so relaxing and so enjoyable for the time that you get out of them. I mean, that's the other thing too. It's like, I don't want to have to think about like, and focus
Think about
my attention on the cigar just so I can get like the different influences out of the tobacco out of it. Like come on, let me just want to smoke this thing.
Dave, shut up.
It's
Dave,
like Pat's sitting there with the freaking notebook, freaking writing down all the little notes and then dreaming about this shit. I just want to smoke it and enjoy it with a drink. That's what makes a good cigar for me.
So-
If I have to like think about this thing for 30 minutes and be like, oh, I just got a new note out of it.
See,
Come on.
the great thing
Kill
is
yourself.
probably, a third of the people who listen to the show are totally with Dave. They don't refined leather. What the fuck is that? They don't know
what is up with
they don't. They don't know what it is.
Why
is
are
this like? What is this cereal talk?
Where are
Come on,
they-
is it-
where
what
are
is-
they-
oh.
do you sniff your leather jacket? I mean, and they're laughing. Dave, you're right.
This
Is
tastes
cigar right?
like Lucky Charms heated. It's like
There's probably about a third of the people who are with Pat who are just really, really into
no, they're just less than 2% that are with Pat.
digging into the
get-
whole
let's get
cigar
really
nerdiness of the whole thing. And,
Pat's palate,
They wanna-
is amazing.
but they probably
You know.
use Pat's palate, and then they start looking for those things, and,
And
they get all into it. And then there's the other third that's like with me going, what the hell is going on with this show? It's like, but it's.
And that's not a
do bring
deterrent,
up-
Pat, because I'm happy he's on the podcast because he'll say things and I'll be like, "Holy crap, that's what I call that."
Well,
And I don't know, and it's like a learning thing
what
for
I'm
me,
saying. This
So
is-
I'm very, very happy about that. But I by myself, I can't pull that stuff out of a cigar. So unless I'm with Pat, then I'm not enjoying it as much as he is. But it's
Maybe if you spent $30 on a cigar, you'd start pulling more stuff out of it.
no,
Because you spent $30 on a cigar.
Well, see, that's the other deterrent for me too. Is like, I'm cheap, so we don't get a break on the higher end cigars because they're limited. So we have to pay at the same price everybody else does. Right. I'm not down with that. If I can't get a break on it, I'm not smoking it. So like that $86 cigar, I'm never going to buy it. If I got, if I could smoke it during work and get 40% off, yeah, maybe. But no, it ain't happening.
All right, so Dave's choosing the street taco for every category.
If I could, I would.
Best line extension,
Best lighting section, best new,
best value cigar.
best new blend. Yep.
Oh, my.
Street taco.
Yeah.
Could you really eat caviar every single freaking day, or tacos? Which would be easier? Come on, tacos, pizza, stuff like that. That's what you want to have every day, not freaking filet mignon. You'd be so freaking, you'd die. You know what I mean? It's for something to be special. It has to be special, which means not all the time.
So if you could smoke one cigar for the rest of your life, it would be a
Street taco. Or low de Cuba Robusto. Yep.
Oh God, help us.
Yeah, no, he's got very simple taste. That's all. Very simple. Less than $10. Goes with the beer. And
Hey.
pairs well with cookies. That's
no,
all it has. That's all it
I've
has to
stepped
be.
up to bourbon now.
No, but that's not. No. It's beer and cookies. BC. I see you. You're looking at the little plate of stuff. The little
I
your
know. I
garlic
want
bread
them.
made for you.
Yeah.
You know, no, not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Not right now.
Those are caramel topped Rice Krispie treats. Man.
They are very good, Pat. They are very good. But I'm
I
not
love
sure,
you. Thank you.
I'm not sure how well they would go with the cigar or with the
No,
tequila.
they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
They would
yeah,
clash
not with the
with
pairing.
everything,
Yeah,
so
we kind
I'm-
of clash with it. We'll have
I'm
to.
kind of making sure Dave doesn't ruin his palate more than it already is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already is. Thank you.
I just taste dirt. And maybe a little salt.
Yep. Just leather and salt.
All right. So if you were going to pick your top 2 or 3 contenders for best new blend, what would they be?
Jeez. You want to mention them again?
I'll mention mine again. I'll mention mine. The Saka Khan, the Olmec, the Rocky Patel Edge 20th, the Street Taco Carnitas,
Yes.
the Byron 1850 number 3. And on Pat's list, he would add the Ozinger to that
And the 20-acre farm.
and the 20-acre farm. So we're up to 7.
Not bad, I suppose. Yeah.
Have you had a 20-acre farm, Dave?
I would. Yes. I would have to go. I would have to go with the Saka Club.
So you're stuck on the side. That's a clear winner to you
That's a clear winner.
for a new blend.
blend. Absolutely.
For new blend.
Yeah.
Pat.
20-acre Ozinger and I can put the soccer con on there
Okay.
and the Byron.
That's about
Word, Pat. Yeah.
I'm not touching you.
Come on. You can do it, Pat.
Touch
You can do it.
Dave.
You could. He's too far away. Come on.
Yeah, you get
Fist
mine.
bump. Fist bump. Don't hand me your weenus. Give me your. There you go. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
I licked your headset.
Did it taste like a street taco?
Yes.
Tasted like refined leather.
Little wax.
I don't know where to go from there. Except maybe to sign off. Oh God. For me, the Saka Khan. Neither of you would put the Olmec in your top 2 or 3. Then.
Well, yeah. No, I'd say the Saka Khan. Is my headliner. The
Your
Olmec,
headliner.
and then the Olmec, and the third would probably be the 20-acre farm. Fourth would be the Street Taco Carnitas.
Okay. It's not in there at all for you.
I'm gonna let the Olmec do something next year because I am annoyed with their production. So.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate that it was supposed to be more available since the Tabernacle is less available, and now it's also
Well, I'm not going to be upset at
Unavailable.
a cigar because of stuff that's out of my control.
That's right, Dave.
That's juvenile.
It all goes into it. Production, construction,
Production, whatever.
performance, flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot
And-
more
and
goes into a new blend than just the blend itself.
True, but all those points, I would say the Olmec meets with all 4 stars.
It's just not.
You're just
You
upset.
just can't get it.
You're just. We do have it. We have 4 sizes downstairs.
Yeah.
And then when those are gone, when we get more.
Pat, you're complaining about something that is not true. I mean, we've got it downstairs on the shelf. All right. Don't.
But you're going to put
don't be a
the
little
Saka Con on that list, which we don't have right now.
But that's a limited production.
Oh boy.
Can't please everybody.
Nope. What can you say? All right. So there's a lot of we have things on all of these lists that are on all 3 of our lists. It seems. So there are things that we all agree with, even if we aren't like all agreeing. Here's the number 1. Here's the number 2. Here's the number 3. There are things that are in common on all these things. And so what we're going to do, and what we would encourage the listeners to do, is to go out this week,
Smoke our list.
smoke the list, let us know what you think. We're going to let you know what we think next week, and we're going to announce the winners for these categories
We should publish.
next week
We should
on the show.
publish the list.
Yeah, we can do that. So when, well, maybe what we can do is, if you finish the editing of this quick, or I can send you the list and you can add it to the YouTube and Facebook notes. You want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So we'll publish the list that we've been talking about tonight, and you guys go out and smoke these things. Tell us what you think. We're going to smoke these things this
Again.
week, and next week we're going to make a final decision on best line extension, best limited edition, best value, and best new blend.
We're not going to say that till after the new year.
It will be after the new year, Dave.
I thought, oh yeah, that's right. It will be. Holy crap! Last week.
Yeah. This is it, Dave. This is it for 2022. That's not just blowing smoke. That's true. It's true, Dave. All right. So everybody drink less, smoke more. We'll see you next week on Not Just Blowing Smoke. You've been listening to Not Just Blowing Smoke, the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twins Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and keep in touch with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke. Thanks for listening, everybody, and that is Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Rolling with the top down.